Hey guys, sorry it's been such a long time. I know. I've taken way too long to get back to really doing this. But I'm here. There's no problem. And we can start review. Oh, Jesus! Hello all. I'm back. Nobody wants you back. Oh, stop. Everyone loves me. They do not. You too. Do not. You annoy them just as much as you annoy me. We'll see. Let's take a vote then. No. Aha! See? See, you're afraid you'll lose. I am not. I'm just not willing to ever waste time with your bullshit.
Review the game?
Not right now. Listen.
Okay, I guess I'll take care of this one, since you're so busy. Alright, so I've never actually done this before, so I'm just gonna go based off of what little I've seen and try to talk about the game. And, well, at least it's a racing game. I have some experience with those. Anyway, the Need for Speed for the original PlayStation is actually a pretty decent game for what it is. I guess the best way to put it is that it's old. Really old. I don't think you guys realize just how old this game feels now, and that's really its biggest fault in my personal opinion. It's not a matter of it being bad for its time, because it by no means was bad for its time. It's just that playing it now, it feels extremely dated. It has a lot of the features you'd expect from a classic racing game. It has cars. Yep, definitely. And tracks. 6 of them. Yeah. So, we're feeling very basic, is what I'm trying to point out here. Okay, I'm kind of kidding. You can actually unlock other tracks and stuff later in the game, because this was before DLC was a thing. So you actually had to, work for your content. I know. It's an ancient concept now. I feel, even my game had unlockable content. For all the non-content that it had some things that you could unlock. Why is that not a thing anymore? I don't understand. But what I'm trying to get at is that this game feels pretty old as a result. Believe it or not, this is actually a port you're seeing. The other versions of the game, both from the PC and the 3DO, were released well before this, so you're looking at a game that was kind of updated since its initial launch, and it still feels pretty... Can you please hold on a second? Would you two please keep it down?
No!
Okay, so that's pretty annoying. Let me try to continue. Right, where was I? Eventually the game is... Oh man, wow. That's pretty bad. Again, old. Really old. Okay. It's an early PlayStation game, originally on the 3DO, so I guess for that standard, it looks alright. And visually, I will give the game this. It has a very nice sense of speed. And I guess it really should, on the basis that it's called the Need for... It really better have a nice sense of speed, or else I'll eat it so... Right. But yeah, so visually the game is pretty decent by that standard. Music is dated. Ooh, boy. Really dated. This music isn't even working. Let me change it real quick. Much better. It's really soothing. That's much newer music. That's all the kids listen to now, right? Right. Alright, so sound is pretty old, but we can fix that. No big deal, it's a racing game, and the car effects sound good. Crash effects are actually really fun to look at, and all in all, the game feels like a weird blend of arcade-style racing and realistic racing. It has actually some physics elements that you wouldn't normally expect in a game of this type, but, it still feels arcadey enough to where you wouldn't, alienate people who don't want to deal with realistic physics. Like, you want to deal with realistic physics, go out and drive your fucking car. You don't need to do that here. is not necessary. The game is also really challenging. I was actually somewhat surprised. It's by no means an easy game to get good at. You really have to focus on car physics and taking corners properly and knowing when to brake, and all in all, it really does make for a decent challenge while still being fun for a casual player to pick up and play. The amount of content in the game is limited at best, particularly in the options. You have your time attack, your tournament, your head-to-head, your single race, and, yep. So, definitely dated in that regard. But, again, it's an older game, and believe it or not, the original launch of the game on the 3DO didn't even have split-screen versus. So, yeah, that's just horrible. I can't even imagine that. Because, wow, who plays racing games by themselves? Like, the point of a racing game is to, like, play with other people, race with friends that, like, what? I complain about the lack of options in the game, but, first of all, my game had similar options. Second of all, it's an older game, and it really started it all when it came to racers on the home consoles. I mean, before this, it's a Mario Kart, sure, but that was about it. I mean, in terms of simulation games, you didn't really have much. Like, Need for Speed really brought home, you know, a lot of things about arcade racers that we take for granted nowadays. You have to really give it some props in that regard. So it's hard to really complain about the game when its biggest fault is that it's old and looks like crap because it's old, and sounds like crap because it's old. It's just old. That's it. It's the only thing you have to consider when in terms of picking up this game and playing it. All in all, it's probably a lot of fun to play, just for curiosity's sake, especially if you play split screen with a friend. I think that's where you're going to have your most fun out of this. However, if you have problems picking up and playing dated games, I'd stick to like Forza or Gran Turismo or newer Need for Speed game. You know, really anything but this, because, you know, it's old. You know, old, and it's aged about as well as milk tends to. So, you know, it's fermented is what I'm trying to say. And not like the yogurt kind of fermented, I mean like the poison kind of fermented. So, and now that I've basically done the entire review for you, would you like to actually voice your opinion on the game?
Oh, yeah, right, I forgot. It's aged pretty bad, but it's worth a play if you like racing games.
That's basically what I just said. Yeah, great.
Till next time, this is Darkness, and I bid you all a fond farewell.